Yo, you know the programming, man? Like, there has been some programming going on. And Neely Fuller, he been speaking about it, but and it's not to bash anybody, but black females and black males have been programmed and still are being programmed to dress a certain way, act a certain way, present a certain image. Yeah. And many of us probably know it already, but it's been used through music, dressing, certain shows like they have on, and then next thing you know, you see your homegirl dressing like, Megan Thee Stallion or, Cardi B or whoever. It's out there mainly, pushing that agenda of sluttiness, freakiness, free yourself. You can show your ass, let your tits shine, all that other stuff, the glitz and, stuff like that. And it's not bashing or putting anyone down, but I'm seeing a narrative that has been created. And it's like when you go out where people of color live, it seems like all the women are dressing and looking alike. I call them clones. I'm not bashing you. I'm not putting you down. Don't get upset. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying my observations as a person of color. No, I'm not black. No, Cherokee. Yeah, Cherokee Nation. But I'm not putting anyone down. You know, but I have been seeing that go to any neighborhood where people of color live. They all are dressing alike. Wigs, eyelashes, tight clothing, butt out, all of that. What happened? What happened to dignified women of color? What happened? They were programmed to take off their clothes. They were programmed to be wild and freaky and freakish. They were programmed to walk around and look like prostitutes. Matter of fact, the way prostitutes used to dress now, that's the norm for women of color, and it's in other cultures as well. I've seen some white women adopt that. I think they call them wiggers. I'm not putting you down. Don't think I'm putting you down. It's just an observation. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff. So if you have daughters, you want to make sure that your daughters, like, you sit down and have a talk with them. Yeah, okay, we men, yeah, we see that, yeah, we like that, we might eat whatever, but we know that we don't want that for our daughters. We definitely know that, right, fellas? We don't want that for our daughters. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the daughters, they'll be dressing like that because moms is dressing like that. Or whoever you let them play with, or go whoever house you go to, or whatever. That's the energy, the music and this and that. No, I'm not bashing y'all. Don't think I'm bashing y'all. I'm not bashing y'all. I'm just saying it's an observation. So there's a lot of programming going on, and it's been going on. We are studied. We are the most studied people in the earth. Yeah, so-called black people. Yeah, they do experiments. They've been experimenting on us for so many years. We're studied. We're dissected. We're studied. We're judged. Yeah, and other races do that too. Why? Because they were taught to do that by those who create the narrative in the colleges and the school. All this stuff came out through that. If you want to know where a theory came from, find the author of the book that created the theory that the masses are following. And there you go, you got your answer. So you really got to start seeing things, the behind the scene doings, the created behind the scene things, everything when it comes to humans, medical care, biology, physiology, all that stuff. You got to look at who wrote this paper, who wrote this book, who wrote this speech, who's saying all this. Where's all this coming from? A lot of times you got to find out, where is the narrative coming from? A lot of it is coming from people who are no longer in the earth, but people are still following the narrative, or the narrative have expanded. Yeah. So look around you. Some people choose not to look around because they so caught up in the frown. They want to see you down, keep you down, bury you in the ground, you know. Yeah, so you got to be aware of what's going on in the world. You want to know the narrative? Who wrote the papers or the books or the thesis or whatever? Who created it? I call it created chaos because if it's not about justice, freedom, and equality for all humanity, regardless of color, you know, no, we are not all brothers and sisters. Stop saying that shit. We aren't. We're not even brothers and sisters to each other. So we need to stop saying, oh, we all God's people. No, we're not. We're not all God's people. Because if we was all God's people, we'd be treating one another equal, wouldn't we? All right, so we're not all God's people. We're not all brothers and sisters. Yeah, so we need to stop saying what they've been saying and stop following the narrative of creating narratives and sayings and this and that. We need to see the damn picture for what it really is. Shit is in a disarray. Yeah, but no, I'm not judging. I'm not putting nobody down. I ain't doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Why? Because I'm not, all of that in the bag of chips and that, we should say, you ain't all of that in the bag. No, I'm not all of that in the bag of chips, but I am somebody, So we want to just look at the narratives. A lot of narratives are created. Every culture or group or color, because color was even created, because really it's about nations and tribes. There has been some narratives created, forced upon them, created by the certain systems that were set up to create that narrative, the programming and stuff like that. And this is why you're seeing what you're seeing. Some of us know the narrative. We are escaping the narrative. Yeah. And then some of us are getting caught up in it. Yeah. So, no, don't feel like I'm bashing you. I'm not. No, this ain't about race. But it could be about race. Yeah. And maybe it is about race. But guess what? All of us is leaving this motherfucking earth. We ain't gonna be in this motherfucker forever, man. So you better get your shit together. White man, black man, Chinese man, Mexican man, or whatever color you are. Because if you hate people, you envious of people, you got these damn things that whatever going on with racism and I-ism and I'm betterism and this and that. Guess what? You're leaving the planet. No one's going to be here forever. So all of that shit is a waste of time. You're wasting your fucking time with those mentalities that we have. It's a fucking waste of time. Yeah. Your hate, your control, all that shit is a waste of time, man. We all are fucking up. We fucked up. Yeah. Unfuck yourself. I saw that said unfuck yourself. Well, fuck you, man. FTW, fuck the world, man. I'm just trying to be happy, man. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't fucking trying to be happy. I am happy. So you want to study the narrative, okay? So if you ain't happy, study who created the narrative. And then look at why the narrative was created. Because we are all victims of various different narratives. Yeah. But I tell you this though, people of color, we're the most studied people in the earth, man. Yeah, they study us, man. Yeah, they study us, dissect us, and all kind of shit. Say they don't like us, all of that. Why? Because you are the original. That's why. You're the original. Everything come through you. No, I ain't talking about Africa. We were already in America. The planet was habitated by people of color all over the world. Even look at that outer Africa theory. That was a theory that was written. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you came from apes, huh? That was a theory that was written. That's not factual. That's not true. That's why you got to study the narrative. See who wrote the book, who wrote the story, who created the narrative, so you can free yourself from mental slavery. Mental slavery is anything that's not vibing with justice and freedom and equality, and it's not doing right by people. Yeah, so you got to up your character. You got to free yourself. I know you're sitting at the table talking about us. Yeah. Teaching your children that shit, right? You're fucked up. Because everybody leaves. Nobody stays in the earth. We all leave. That's that's the equalizer of life. You're leaving one day. I don't want to spend my time feeling like how I'm feeling if I got to feel like I feel because somebody created some fucking narrative. I don't want to feel like that no more. So I'm choosing to free myself. What are you doing? Are you willing to free yourself from a lot of that shit you was fed? Or do you love that shit? Are you gonna hold on to it until your very last breath? I'm not, man. I want to be pure soul light.